Are you ready to talk about your favorite cartoon characters reimagined in all kinds of ways? Let's get started. Twilight Sparkle, in her original pony form, is a biological anomaly. A quadruped with alicorn wings, her weight likely falls between 200 to 265 pounds. Given her active lifestyle, constant galloping, teleporting, and stress-induced magical outbursts, her metabolism must be burning through at least 15,000 calories daily. Hey, apples and oat-based foods dominate her diet, but can those alone sustain a pony that rewrites the laws of physics? Is magic supplementing her energy needs, allowing her body to function on seemingly inefficient food sources? What do you guys think her secret is? Now enter her human transformation. Her new frame is slender, likely around 120 pounds, which makes sense for a high-functioning intellectual with little physical activity. But here's the kicker. How does her metabolism shift when transitioning to a world where magic is practically non-existent? If her pony metabolism was optimized for energy-burning magic, did this sudden shift down-regulate her calorie consumption? And if so, did it set the stage for her next, much larger transformation? Which brings us to the extreme version of Twilight. Here, her weight has skyrocketed well beyond 440 pounds, demanding an estimated 10,000 calories per day just to maintain. But let's break that down. What is she eating? Her pony instincts may still crave apples and oats, but human Twilight has access to something far more dangerous: processed human food. Could her biology struggle to process sugar-dense, high-fat meals, leading to an uncontrollable buildup of mass? Or is this a magical malfunction where her body keeps stockpiling energy as if preparing for a massive spell that never comes? Another transformation diverges entirely from weight gain. It's pregnancy. Twilight's latest form isn't about excessive calorie intake, but about a natural, or possibly unnatural, biological shift. If equestrian biology functions anything like human pregnancy, she should be carrying a single foal or child. But if magic is involved, the number could be far greater. Given her stature, the weight distribution suggests a magically accelerated pregnancy, where growth happens exponentially rather than gradually. Even more concerning is her structural integrity. At this weight, human bones would struggle to support the mass, unless magic is reinforcing them. Does her unicorn heritage provide some kind of gravity-altering field, reducing the strain? Or is she constantly casting subconscious levitation spells just to keep herself mobile? Fluttershy is the last pony you'd expect to undergo an extreme transformation. As a Pegasus, she's built for speed, lightness, and aerial maneuverability. Weighing in at maybe 110 pounds, she's likely the lightest of the main six. Her diet is almost entirely plant-based: berries, flowers, and whatever she scrounges up for herself while feeding her animal friends. But what happens when she enters the human world? Now in human form, Fluttershy retains her gentle, delicate nature, likely weighing around 110 to 120 pounds. But here's the issue. Vegetarians can still gain weight. If her plant-based pony diet carried over, she'd be limited to salads, fruits, and nuts. But in the human world, vegetarian foods are calorie traps. Processed granola is packed with sugar, and smoothies might as well be liquid candy. Could she have unknowingly fallen into the human junk food trap, mistaking healthy foods for diet-friendly ones? Or is something else influencing her weight? Then we get this Fluttershy, a version whose belly has swelled to an extreme size as a result of pregnancy. I don't believe that her Pegasus biology was designed for this kind of strain, which makes me wonder how much in love she was to decide to take such a huge step. Pinkie Pie has never obeyed the laws of physics, so why would her weight? As a pony, she's already an anomaly. She teleports, floats, eats absurd amounts of sugar, and somehow never slows down. If any pony could consume 10,000 calories a day and remain hyperactive, it's her. But what happens when she's forced into a human body that can't keep up? Human Pinkie is still a walking sugar rush, but now her metabolism has limits. If pony Pinkie could metabolize sugar at supernatural speeds, then her human form would be trapped by the very food that once fueled her. And now, a new layer: pregnancy. Do you think that her pregnancy might alter her hyperactive personality? Maybe her mood swings would get the best of her and turn her into a different Pinkie than the one we know. I'll leave that to our female viewers to speak on. Here we have another version, easily exceeding 770 pounds. At this weight, she'd require a sustained intake of at least 12,000 calories daily. That's more than 40 full-sized cakes a day. But does she even notice? Trixie Lulamoon once dazzled crowds with her sleight of hoof and magical tricks, basking in the adoration of an audience she never quite deserved. A unicorn fueled by pride, her ego outweighed her talents, but in her original form, she was at least light on her hooves. So what happens when illusion meets reality? Stripped of unicorn magic, Trixie must adapt. No more flashing lights, no more vanishing acts. Instead, she's left with something far worse: reality. At first, her human form maintains her signature dramatic flair, but trouble arises fast. Self-indulgence replaces self-importance. Without applause, does she seek validation and instant gratification? With her obsession with grandeur, she was always larger than life, but now it's becoming literal. At her current immense size, Trixie's reputation has reached unprecedented proportions. But would her caring for a child redeem her sins? Because it looks like she's expecting as well. Applejack, the workhorse of Sweet Apple Acres, has always been built for maximum efficiency, strong, durable, and powered almost entirely by apples. But how many apples would it take to reach her alternate forms? The math gets disturbing really fast. As a pony, Applejack likely weighs 265 to 310 pounds. Muscular, not bulky. Real-world horses burn up to 30,000 calories per day, but AJ is constantly bucking trees, hauling carts, and fighting supernatural threats. That means she could be burning even more. And if she's eating apples alone, that's 1,500 apples a day, or half an orchard's daily yield. But apples alone don't make you fat. They're mostly water, fiber, and sugar. For serious weight gain, she'd need to overload on pies, fritters, and cider. And with Granny Smith's baking, that's not impossible. Now in human form, Applejack shrinks down to about 155 lbs, an athletic build sustained by an active farm life. Here, her caloric burn drops dramatically to 3,500 calories a day. But there's a problem. Human bodies store fat way more efficiently than ponies. If Applejack is still eating like a pony, say, consuming 1,500 apples a day, her body would hoard the excess calories, triggering rapid weight gain. Could the shift between species have confused her metabolism, making her body think it's in starvation mode and causing it to store everything as fat? Now, this version of Applejack isn't just growing. She's expecting. Her weight gain isn't random. It's a direct result of an intense pregnancy. But the question remains, how is she carrying this much weight? And why does she look like she's about to give birth to something massive? Care to guess who the lucky father is? In her pony form, Rainbow Dash is likely the lightest and most muscular of the main six, maybe 175 pounds at most. But her metabolism is where things get weird. Real-world birds and athletes burn through calories at extreme rates, meaning Rainbow Dash probably eats like an unstoppable black hole of food. So why, in this version, has she completely lost that metabolic edge? As a human, Dash still maintains her lean, high-energy frame, probably around 120 to 130 pounds. But this is where things fall apart. Human bodies don't work like Pegasus ones. A Pegasus burns through calories just by existing. Their bodies are built to defy gravity. But in the human world, Dash loses all of that efficiency. If she keeps eating like an athlete but suddenly loses her energy output, the results would be disastrous. Now we hit the breaking point. This version of Rainbow Dash is no longer built for speed. She's carrying at least 770 pounds, which means she'd need at least 10,000 plus calories a day just to maintain her size. A sudden pregnancy wouldn't be the best move either, but she does look really cute pregnant, don't you think? Pegasi bodies are designed for minimal weight, maximum lift. If Rainbow's body started stockpiling mass at an unnatural rate, would her wings still be able to support her? Or would she need exponential energy increases just to get off the ground? Could this explain why she never stops eating? Because every time she flies, her body burns through absurd amounts of energy trying to compensate? Rarity lives by one rule: elegance above all else. As a unicorn, she's built for grace, not excess. A pony of her stature likely weighs no more than 130 pounds, thriving on a carefully curated diet of gourmet treats, fine dining, and stress-induced fasting. So how do we go from glamour queen to unrecognizable mass? Now human, Rarity adapts seamlessly, tall, slender, and maintaining a model-like figure at around 120 to 130 pounds. But this shift comes with unforgiving new weaknesses. Where pony Rarity could magically sculpt her body, human metabolism is cruel. Could her obsession with fashionable indulgence, fine pastries, wine tastings, or lavish social events have silently begun an unstoppable spiral? For a pony obsessed with elegance, pregnancy presents an entirely new challenge. Rarity has always prided herself on maintaining an air of grace and sophistication. But what happens when her carefully sculpted figure is no longer within her control? Take a look at what she looks like now. You must admit that pregnancy seems to suit her very well. She somehow looks even more elegant, doesn't she? Now here she is at 770 lbs. Still think she looks as elegant? Feel free to share your thoughts in the comments section down below.